If anyone has any questions about suffering, how to feel alive, we just started this live. We just started this live. If anyone has any questions about suffering, what is spiritual enlightenment, how to feel alive, that's crazy. Is that towards Russia? David? We were just live last night. Yeah, I guess it is. You'd think they put the charger on the top of the phone, not the bottom. But no, they want to put it at the bottom. Is Novoscote. That's right near Russia. We were live last night, and I didn't get to go live for like a day or two. Last night was really good, but I plan on going live a lot more in the following week. If anyone has any spiritual questions, free from suffering, what is enlightenment? What does this mean? Maybe in the Bible, or maybe just in your reality. We just started this live. If anyone has any spirituality, they want to ask about anything spiritual, what does this mean in my life? What does this feeling mean in my life? Anything about the Bible or any religion. how to be free from suffering. Most of the world is about 50% bad and 50% good. Now, most of the world is not super bad. The super bad people that live in fear and that cause chaos in the world, we don't really see them. They're very few and far between. There's only a couple really evil people. But the common layman is they're 50% bad and 50% good. Most evil people, they live in fear, and we don't support we don't support their habits. So they do their evil habits behind four walls. They do them in dungeons. They do them away from the public eye. Because if we did see it, we wouldn't allow it. Is the end of the world near? The whole end of the world to our earth and your life never ends. So you never die. The world resets. That's what the floods, and it's not as big and catastrophic as you think it is. So the world resets by causing, it could be a hurricane, it could be a flood. It doesn't matter how it comes. A bunch of people across an area die. So in that sense, yeah, that does happen, and that happens. It's marked and it is fact. Yeah, it's called the phoenix. And that's why the phoenix, it's been talked throughout all of history, but on the back of your coin, the US coin, they have that phoenix. Anytime you see the phoenix, the bird, that's basically a cataclysm, or it's a reset. And that's why rich people are trying to build bunkers underground. Well, anyone who thinks anything, they're going to be banned from my channel forever. That's okay. I really don't care. You're never going to see me again. You're never going to see me again. I don't know what you mean by that, Hudson Brown. Do you want to explain? Yeah, it is. It's kind of sometimes bad. People work at corporations. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what you mean by that. Yeah. Nah, I wouldn't do that. And you obviously don't know what they are. you can go do it and you can find out for yourself, because you don't know what they are. And then you can see and you can feel how it is. And you're not going to like it. No one likes it. If anyone has any questions about spirituality, how to feel alive, what is enlightenment, the devil wants to feel alive. He wants to be just like God, but he's jealous and he's caught up in his own mental pandemonium. So that's why he resists and goes against himself. So that's why he lives in fear. That's why he's jealous. And it never ends. It never ends. Because the devil ultimately is trying to become like God. Everybody's on their path. Everybody's on their path to God. It doesn't matter what you believe in. Because it's not a belief. It's kind of like a beehive. We leave the beehive and we may get stressed. We may get a disease. Things may happen to us. But at the end of the day, no matter what happens, we're eventually going to go back to the beehive. This is the story of creation. You can also say the story of God. Yeah. We just started this live. I was live last night. If anybody has any spiritual questions, it can be about Buddhists. It can be about preachers. Anything spiritual or mystical. It can be about fairies. It can be about giants. It can be about freedom of suffering. No, God doesn't have a name. God is just a name that we use to reference it. Some people call it love. Some people call it Jesus. Our fundamental life form is a feeling, and it's inside of you. Most people don't feel this, but it's in there in everybody. So when you don't feel this life force inside of you, which is God, it's the same term. Whether you consider a piece of God or yourself the whole God, You wouldn't think that. It's just it's a feeling inside of you. This is why religions call it God, but it's a feeling. It's not an emotion. It's not sadness. It's not madness. It's not anger. The feeling inside of you is it's a never ending, never changing feeling. So when you feel this, and when you stay with this, which once you feel it, you want it more and more and more, like a drug, because it's the best feeling in the world. Most people aren't feeling it, so they don't feel the best thing in the world, because nothing feels better than that. And then people try to replicate it by doing drugs, having sex. But the feeling inside of you is where everything generates from. Again, most people don't feel this. This is why the world is deluded and corrupt. Yeah. And it's the best feeling in the world. It literally is our existence. We run off this feeling. Some call it love. Some call it eternal bliss. It's when you feel this, you're not going to be like, oh, this is bliss. You're going to be just feeling it. And all your thoughts are going to subside. You're not going to have any thoughts when you're feeling. It's impossible to feel something physically and think at the same time. So how did this come to be? Just like how you feel this right now, there's a feeling inside of you. There's a feeling inside of you that we can't feel with our hands or our head. It's just vibrating inside of us. This is God's essence. And when you feel God's essence, you just feel it. So until we come back to thinking, then later on after we experience it, and then we can keep going back to experiencing it, and that leads to other things, but then we describe it. So then, because we are not thinking when we're feeling, if we're truly feeling, whether it's inside of us. So later on, we write a Bible. We talk about Jesus, which a lot of that's just confusing and a lot of that's corrupt, even though it has some truth. And it's the same with all religions. Because words can't describe a feeling. Music can't. People create music to bring you close to what they're feeling, but them words don't mean, they're just bringing you closer. But that's just an emotion they feel. Again, we need to bring back to it. That was a great question, actually. So there's no way to describe it because it's just a feeling. And most people miss the feeling. It's not a feeling of sadness. It's not a feeling of nostalgia. All those feelings come and go. What's up, Andreas? How is your home country? We've been meeting people all around the world, which is amazing. We were just outside, or we were just live yesterday. So here's the thing with religions. Here's the thing with books and texts and preachers and anybody in the spiritual world that doesn't know, that hasn't had experience. You have to have the experience. Otherwise, you can't tell someone how to have the experience. So if a preacher, if anybody in spirituality, even a Buddhist, it doesn't matter who it is, online or in life, if they've never experienced this, it doesn't matter what they tell you. Even if it's good, even if they're speaking gospel, even if they're talking about God, which is good, but you actually have to experience it to know what you're talking about. Because talking is not bringing you closer. It's just being descriptive. Mr. Martinez, you're from Illinois, right? Hey, Mr. Martinez. I appreciate that no username. Again, if we didn't name that feeling inside of us, we can call this an energy. It's an energy that keeps us alive. It's the same thing as the cross. The cross literally means this vertical energy that's inside of us. We there's no word for it, but since there's no word, we call it, some people call it God. But then like, it kind of leaves people confused. It's not something we think about. It's a feeling that's generated within. It's the basis and the most fundamental of everything in the world. All animals, all human beings, all plants. Yeah, we were talking about where everyone was from, Mr. Martinez. You have a headache for 3 to 4 hours? Did you drink like too much coffee? Are you hydrated, Andreas? Did you eat anything? And most importantly, you should throw some sea salt. You should throw some sea salt into your water. All right, Lego King. Yeah, I'm up. Up. Hey, Matt the Visionary. Yeah, you might be dehydrated a little bit. I was trying to name where everyone was from. So, like, just all the people and places. Yeah. Like, I remember you saying Illinois, and you said you wanted to go to Alaska. You know, my one friend is from Cyprus. Lego is from California. LA. Stoic is from Australia. Sydney. And yeah, there's a lot of local people that watch me. Yeah. Well, coffee can be dehydrating, so yeah. We're about 30 minutes into here. I'll probably go for another 15-30 minutes for now. So ask your burning spiritual questions. Your burning questions about life. Something that you feel. Yeah, a lot of people love drinking coffee. A lot of females are addicted to coffee. But I don't drink it, so I never have. I'm not really around the environment. Thank you, Lego. Ask your burning spiritual questions. Yeah, I also want to make an announcement. All the money that I make from here on forth, so whatever that's donated and whatever I'm granted, will be going in for me to teach spirituality in my city and then worldwide. Eventually I'll be getting money from that in itself, but any donations will be going to, you also can PayPal me. However, any donations will be going towards spirituality. And if I need to explain that further, it's because I don't want anything. There's nothing I want. The only thing I want to do is help people, and I love seeing people happy. I can't get more happy than I already am. I'm leaning on Alaska. Yeah, there was somebody in here a second ago that's from Nova Scotia. Well, Andreas, what time is it? If you fight to sleep for a little bit, you'll get energy. But if it's like nighttime, maybe you should just go to sleep. You live in an environment where people drink 6 coffees a day. Well, just tomorrow when you wake up, it's always better on a fresh day to quit anything that you want to quit, maybe an addiction, because then it's easier on a fresh day. So just say you're going to smoke 1 cigarette less, because I don't think you're completely quitting. If you drink 5 coffees, maybe drink 4, maybe drink 3, maybe just go a day without drinking coffee, and then the next day drink as much coffee as you please. Yeah. Well, if it's 4 p.m., yeah, maybe just stay up. You'll get an energy boost soon. The body gets an energy boost around 4 o'clock. Thank you for everyone for joining. Ask any spiritual questions, anything about this earth. We were just live last night, and now we are in the morning. I just actually woke up not that long ago. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's all right. Yeah, you'll have an energy boost. Yeah. I'll see you later, Lego King. Duvar. That's his real name. Yeah, people get an energy boost around 4 p.m. It's just a natural cycle in our body. Yeah, I'm gonna have to eat something after this live. We'll probably go for another like 20-30 minutes. Yeah, Andreas, what have you been doing? Yeah. Matt the Visionary. Yeah. Yeah, you see it on the internet, and then you feel it inside of you, basically. You feel it. When you wake up in the morning, that's basically when you're going to feel the best. And then you're going to rise. It's with the solar system. We all work within the solar system. Our bodies do. So as the sun rises, we rise too. And then eventually we go down, which is sleep. But there's ways to manipulate that energy, and you can be up longer, you can sleep less. There's a bunch of ways. Yeah, thanks, Matt. I've been feeling better. Yeah, I've been feeling like better like every day. I'm going to be teaching spirituality locally here soon. I'm just waiting for my body to get all better. I'm going to be holding events. I don't know what you want to call them, lectures. Yeah, that's what I mean, Andreas. Every time, the more that I sleep, the worse off that I feel. So when I sleep in the middle of the day, so when I sleep during the day, I always feel worse. Yeah. It has to do with actually the solar system and the sun. because we are made of the 5 elements, which are fire, water. I could go get a picture actually. Fire, water, earth, and the wind. And then there's the ether. But the thing about it is, when you go to sleep in the middle of the day, it does stuff. It moves your elements differently, and that's what actually happens to the body. So when you sleep during the day, you could have more earth. When you wake up, so that's why you'll feel like more tired. You could have less fire. So like other elements increase, and then other elements decrease. It's like if you ever seen like a video game or like attributes, they have certain attributes, and when you sleep, some other stuff increases, and then some go, and that's why you feel like discombobulated. You sleep with your eyes open. Yeah, I always feel better when I sleep less than 8 hours. Yeah, I always feel better. I always feel better when I sleep less. And I just I don't like sleeping. That's when you can rest. Most people don't know how to relax. When you completely relax, it's pretty much like sleeping, but you're still conscious. And it actually can be just as a deep of a sleep as sleeping. So you can reduce your sleep quota just like that. Most people can't like completely relax though. Watching TV is still stimulating your body and your mind. So you may use, hey, I'm just relaxing. But real relaxation, you can do it with your eyes open. But you have to do it on something that isn't stimulating you, which would be nature. And yeah, you could also close your eyes. Yeah. Andreas from Cyprus. If anyone has any spiritual questions, we're going to be in here for another 10 to 20 minutes. And then I have to actually eat myself. Like I said, I'm going to be going live in the next week. I'll be going live all week. Oh, man. If anyone has any questions, how to be free from suffering, what is spiritual enlightenment, anything about religion. Yeah, Andreas, I always forget that you're 19 years old. I just always think you're older, I guess, since we talk. You speak Greek, Andreas? I didn't know that. You were born in 2005. Wow. True Islam or true Christianity? Well, we'd have to go to where they came from, because even Christianity and true Islam, they come from something which we don't. Most people on the surface don't know the true Christianity, where it comes from, because it comes from different words. That's how that word formed. Islam is probably the exact same thing. But what is true Islam and Christianity? There is not an answer for that, because it's people's belief, and their belief is that would be true if they follow it. That's their true belief. Yeah, I mean, Andreas, you speak English really good. You speak English really good, Andreas. I'm so happy everyone's here. The only fear, it doesn't matter what you fear, because the only fear is fear itself. You can be feared to talk to a girl, to go in public and speak to somebody, maybe to do like a stunt with people around. But the only fear, all fear, no matter what you fear, is the same. All fear is just fear. It doesn't matter what it's about. Okay, yeah, you have a dialect. Yeah, we pretty much get to pick what language we want to learn. We get to pick what language we want to learn. But the fundamentals are basically Mexican, which is Spanish. But for some reason, I don't know, I don't remember a lot from Spanish. I took a couple years in French, but I feel like all my life, all my teachers that were trying to teach me something they just were not good. It doesn't matter what it is, whether it was a life lesson. I talk about this basically, like I talked about this last night. But I took 3 years, I took like multiple years of French. The problem with learning languages, whoever knows the language, so someone that teaches English, they teach really fast and they want to talk like this and they want to talk like that. That's not a way to learn a language. And I remember listening to French people talk in French class, and I have to decipher the words, but they're talking so fast, and I don't know the language. Because I took advanced French, but I don't remember it. You know what I mean? So how good was the lesson? We learned Latin. We learned Latin, but that we learned actually Latin first. I don't know, is Latin the same as Greek? It's probably a little bit different. Like Spanish, Latin, and Greek, they're all very like similar. Because we have Mexico, but then we have Spain. I mean, isn't Mexico basically Spain? Not necessarily, but at the same time, they just, when I think about them, or, you know, they seem like the same culture, but Spain is probably a little, Spain's different, you know? And when we learned Latin, that was a weird class because I learned that super young, and we were just learning like the words and and the teacher, yeah, we learned that super young. Yeah, Latin was the second language we learned, but it was very difficult. I remember it was very confusing. Because when we call people Spanish, we say we say Mexico. We call them they speak Spanish, but then there's a whole different country in Europe that's called Spain. So it's just like they speak Spanish, but they're it's probably a little bit different. They may speak Latin too, which they definitely do. But Latin's like almost like a lost language to some degree. It's not supposed to be. Hi, Antoine. Yeah, I mean I didn't know you speak like Greek. But yeah, I get what you're saying. I'm going to stay for a couple more minutes if anyone has any questions, but I'm about to go eat something. We've been on here for almost an hour. If anyone has any last questions, post them down below. Yes, it seemed like we flew by this hour. This hour flew by. It's all right. I have to go do some things, so I guess we'll end this. We'll end this right here. Appreciate everyone coming by. I'll see everyone later. Thank you.